Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
Flowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Buchanan. Great feet. Trying to put it on frame. Takes a deflection. Now taking it for the first time. How about that for a finish? Now Johnston. Beautifully shaped ball. Saved off the line. And once more steps home. And it's a brace for Jonathan David. Saliba. Falls kindly for Jonathan David. And there is his hat trick. A night to savor and then some for Canada's all-time leading goal scorer.
Well, then Son Heung-min looking to get in behind, and the goalkeeper didn't get there. And can they clear it? Yes, they can. That's brilliant from Edson Alvarez. That might just be the clearance of the tournament from the captain of Mexico. Jimenez is waiting for the cross. Jimenez was trying to guide it. That was a good header behind it by Lee Gi-hyuk, and the goalkeeper drops it. It's hit and it's in! Mexico lead! Luis Romo! Terrible mistake by the South Korean goalkeeper. Waiting in the box. It's a ball. That's a chance! It's a great save! It's a double save! It's outstanding from Rangel! The man from Guadalajara is Mexico's hero!
Wow, how's he kept that out?
I have no idea!
Live from New York, just wishing you a happy Juneteenth. It's the first hour of First Things First, Power Pack Day of soccer today. I said I was going to watch today's game from an American bar. American style. United States themed.
Are you going to stay
in America? I'm going to stay in America.
Are you going to stay in
like an American bar?
Is that like a TGIF or
a TGIF?
Oh, interesting.
They got a nice brownie obsession.
Are you going to stay in Manhattan?
I need to get locked in on the game. Like, the team needs me.
Got it. But you just said you're watching from a bar.
It's hard to be as locked in.
An American-themed bar.
Yes, I got it. There's a great, because there is, to Bruce's point, a great Applebee's in Times Square. Doesn't get more American than that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Applebee's, by the way, started
in Kansas City.
Did it?
Yeah, wow. I think that's true. It used to be like a pretty sweet restaurant.
There is not, I think
that's one of y'all best.
Do you know that first TGI Fridays was in New York?
I didn't know that.
It might be in You've Got Mail or something, some movie.
That's
in any event.
Seattle-based.
Yes, I was Seattle.
No, You've Got Mail's not Seattle-based.
It was Seattle, wasn't it?
Sleepless in Seattle. You're getting your North Efron movie.
Where was You've Got Mail?
You've Got Mail was the Upper West Side.
He's right.
Oh.
Today, Team USA Australia must win, and a bonus segment, a fresh edition of Title Pie, of course. Look, they both starred Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, and both directed by Nora Ephron. But one is in Seattle, one is in, of course. Meanwhile, LeBron watch. Is there a scenario where he teams up with Steph? Great video pull here from our team. Thank you. And finally, one of the most shocking developments in all of sports, the Cowboys, are not talking about the Super Bowl. They are talking about the last game.
Some big game.
But it almost feels like one of the, a promotion where you haven't paid for the branding rights.
Yeah, it's Pringles. Pringles, hey.
For the big game.
For the big game, enjoy Pringles.
That's a
Pringles. Nick Wright, Kevin Wilds, and Chris Broussard. What a day. We're fired up today. We're starting in Seattle. A lot of references to Seattle. USA, Australia, both teams won their first matchup. USA did it with Pulisic watching for the second half. He's been training apart from the team the whole week. He also has that Joe Burrow-esque sleeve on his calf. We still don't know if he's going to play. Here's Coach Pochettino.
At the moment, we see he's not available for tomorrow. Will be available for the next game. But I think he's doing a massive effort, trying to be ready. When this type of thing happen, always is painful. But I think Christian is strong and with great mentality, and is doing a fantastic effort to try to be ready as soon as possible.
Okay. Should USA play it safe with Pulisic?
Absolutely not. And this is one of the craziest stories I've ever been.
You were fired up. You started giving takes on the call. I'm like, the show's at 10.
I can't believe this is a discussion.
Okay.
First of all, I understand we had an awesome 45 minutes against Paraguay. Great. With Christian Pulisic on the field.
Yep.
The United States men's national team, which we are all super excited for, is not in any position to be like, well, we'll be fine without our best player against that team. We wouldn't be in that position if we were playing DR Congo or Curacao, maybe Curacao.
Hey,
much less.
Maybe Qatar. Curacao can play. They were tied with Germany for 38 minutes.
Much less against, according to the FIFA World Rankings at least, the toughest competition within our group, Australia. This is what the U.S. men's national team did against the worst team in our group, according to the rankings. First half versus second half. In other words, with Pulisic on and Pulisic off. The second half, we needed a goal at the death, if you will, to tie the half. Not that they really, care about that piece of it.
But are you putting that much stock into this once we're up 3-0?
Here's what I'm putting stock into. It's the World Cup. You cannot be extra cautious about injuries. You play your best guys.
They were actually that in game one. Took him out in the second half.
Well, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that if you have a game locked up, being within the context of it, but leading into it. And here's the other reason, because I am very excited about the potential for the U.S. men's national team for the first time ever to go on a real run. The difference in path, if you win the group versus come in second, is so dramatic. And I just want to show it to you and then I give it to you, Brew. If they win the group, in the round of 32, you play a third place team. In the round of, and this is again, according to the current odds, in the round of 16, you will play Belgium or Egypt, and in the quarterfinals, you would play Spain. If you finish second, you get Belgium or Egypt immediately, and then in the round of 16, you play Argentina. The whole idea behind this tournament is, can they finally break through the hard ceiling or glass ceiling, whatever, of the round of 16? So you need to win the group. So you should play your best player even though he got kicked in the leg. I don't get it.
Look, I got to be honest. As the show's resident Mr. Gritty, tough guy.
You just tried to introduce a new nickname for yourself.
Mr. Gritty.
Mr. Gritty.
Tough. Play through pain.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
I've never
that's what I'm
heard anyone refer to you as Mr. Gritty. Well, before. But I do like it.
It's another character in the
great.
Bruniverse. That's what they're saying on the
that's
the Bruniverse or whatever.
All right, I love it. Yeah. Mr. Gritty.
So there's I'm proud of you, Nick. There's a part of me. I do like that. However, I am also the wise elder on the show. And you're talking as if he got kicked in the leg.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah, but is that the injury? We don't know. If it's a bruise and it's just painful, sure, absolutely go out there and play. If it's a strain in the calf and you are going to risk losing him for the rest of the tournament, I don't like the term play it safe, because I agree with you. We're not Spain. We're not France. We're not in position to take teams lightly. However, I like play it smart. And if there is a good chance of him going out there and re-aggravating it, or he's just not going to be effective.
Yeah.
He's just can't be himself, then I think you have to sit him, give him that week to be ready for the next game. And look, this just happened. He first injured the calf a week ago before the first game.
Yes.
Played through it and ended up having to sit out the second half. So that seems to tell me the risk is there for him to re-aggravate it again, if not worse. Obviously, overcompensation, maybe an Achilles or something else. We don't know the details of the injury. I agree. If he got kicked, play through it. But this reminds me of, well, I'll put it this way. It's like in an NBA series. And you're right. Let's say you're up 1-0. I won't even say 2-0 because we can't take Australia that lightly. But if you're up 1-0, you got a little cushion to play with. And if your best player was banged up a little, you're like, hey, we got the first game. We understand the series isn't over, but let's rest him and make sure he can be 100% in game 3.
So, go ahead, KW.
Pulisic pie.
Title pie in 50 minutes.
Title pie coming up in 50 minutes. Pulisic, don't play him pie. 30% slice. Don't want to have something terrible happen and put his whole World Cup in jeopardy. 30% slice. He's not so good, and his game is not so far and above everybody else that if you get him 20% less of who he is, he's going to be effective. 40% slice. Let Gio out there, and let's see what Gio can do. Gio came in here and scored one of the most spectacular goals we've seen. We know he's a star. He can put the ball in the back of the net. We haven't seen him a ton with this group.
Great.
But you could not have had a more spectacular sub. Oh, by the way, the guy who we had to bench Pulisic and our star in the wings came out here and showed everybody that he can play.
Yeah, yes, and it took a spectacular goal in the 98th minute for the U.S. to have, in a half where they had no real goal-scoring chances, after in the first half they had a bunch of them. Here's the reason, Brew, because I'm obviously not out there. I'm not, I'm not reporting on any of this. You know what I am doing? Listening to what Pulisic, his teammates, and his coach have said about this injury. Here is from the day of the game what was written. Pulisic himself didn't seem worried, saying, I just got a bit of a kick in the first half. I'm hoping it's nothing, taking precaution. I'm staying positive. I don't think it's anything. Tyler Adams, when he was asked about it the day after, said, give me a break. Of course he's playing. Pochettino, then yesterday, we get this update. Pulisic entered the tournament without any known health concerns. 2 days before last Friday's opener against Paraguay, he received a kick in his leg during a training session, according to Pochettino. And it goes on. For 45 minutes meeting against Paraguay, he was excellent and seemingly uninhibited. But Pochettino said that during halftime, Pulisic started to get tight and could not walk. Pochettino and Pulisic both indicated that the substitution was precautionary. So,
that is a weird quote.
Right.
That's precautionary. I can't walk. It's one or the other.
Tyler Adams, God bless him, he doesn't know. He's not a medical doctor, and neither is Pulisic. Pulisic said, I hope it's nothing. None of that was definitive.
I totally agree with all of that. The point that I am, and the reason why I think playing should happen, is he played the whole half, right? He wasn't taken out with an injury. At halftime, they decided to, be careful, or it tightened up and weird, they said he couldn't walk. And your comp about a playoff series, I understand. But this is the World Cup. It happens to also be on U.S. soil. We also happen to have maybe the best draw imaginable because of that. It is not an exaggeration to say that these are the biggest games of these guys' entire lives. And to not have your best player give it a go, I think would be insane.
How can you say that without knowing what the injury is?
Because here's what I feel like I do know what the injury is.
So what is it? It's just a bone bruise?
He got, I I guess let me put it like this. I feel like I know how the injury was suffered because they keep telling us that he got kicked in training, and then during the Paraguay game, he got kicked again. And like they keep telling us that's what it is. And the idea that it is like because here's the other piece of it that to me is somewhat in conflict. Pochettino yesterday saying if he doesn't play today, he's definitely playing in the third game. Well, then then the idea that it is some ominous calf strain that we're all, afraid of with athletes for a good reason, that doesn't line up. That if he is definitely going to be good by Wednesday, but today, like that, I just don't.
They listed him as day-to-day. I would think another week would help him. And I'm not, I feel like, this is complete speculation, I feel like he's not going to play. At this point, those are the vibes I'm getting.
Those are the vibes I'm getting too, and I don't know why more people aren't bothered by it.
I wonder if there's an element, and we'll have Dax on in about 20 minutes, if there's an element where Pochettino's like, man, we're going to beat Australia regardless.
And what I'm saying is...
we should beat, we do feel like we should beat them.
And then maybe if we need him in the second half, almost like how Spain used Yamal. Oh, we need a spark
we should be able to beat
if it's
them
not going the way...
That is...
It's not guaranteed, but
I think we're going to roll.
But don't you feel that we are better than them and should beat them with or without Pulisic?
I don't know that I think that Australia's the 22 ranked team in the world. We're 14. Where would we be ranked if we didn't have Christian Pulisic? I don't know.
I think it's a little bit of, yeah.
And so I'm not going to, that's a little over my skis on that. But I think it is, I just don't believe in, the reason he doesn't play in the Gold Cup is to make sure he is fresh for the World Cup. There's so many precautions are taken to make sure you are available for this tournament.
Yeah.
And to now, in the second game of it, risk all of the good vibes, all of the group positioning, all of the momentum in what it seems to me would be does everybody agree? Let me ask this. That if this were the World Cup final,
yeah, of course.
He's playing.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's different.
So then it is precautionary.
You don't think that's different?
Yeah.
I do not think there should be precautionary measures taken in a World Cup. If you have the group locked, if they were to win today and the other things happen to where the Turkey game is truly meaningless, but I view all of these as elimination adjacent games. And
this is an elimination game. Because we played so well in the first game. Remember Tyrese Halliburton played in Game 7, yes. Obviously got the Achilles injury. Don't you think Game 7 was different than him going out there? I don't even remember which game he got injured in, but say Game 5, he goes out there. I felt like there was a difference between going in Game 7 and going in
I do too. I also think that if the NBA Finals were every 4 years, and if everyone agreed this was, the only the only time the Pacers were ever going to host a home finals game, and it was every 4 years, I'd feel different.
The every 4 years doesn't matter. The NBA Finals is the biggest basketball for anybody on earth. Just like this is the biggest soccer, so I think it's the same.
All right, more on Pulisic and Team USA all throughout the show. Knicks parade yesterday billed as the largest party in the history of New York. Some people said there's 2 million attendees. Jalen Brunson took the stage and had the final word on anyone who didn't believe in him. Take a listen.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. But when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them. Nah, they don't deserve it.
Okay. What did this season do for Brunson's legacy, bro?
Well, first, let me say about the parade. We obviously were on the air during the parade. I watched the ceremony after. You guys probably did as well. It was great. The Knicks do a great job of ceremonies and things like that. I covered them for 3 years and saw a lot of that. The one thing I'll say, though, and again, it was fantastic. I think they should have had more players speak. Like, Brunson was the only player to speak at that ceremony. I wanted to hear from Cat. Mm-hmm. I wanted to hear from Anunoby, maybe even Jose Alvarado is a guy from New York, but I thought
did
that.
Sing Many Men on his float.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But that was the only thing. But it was a well done. They had Alicia Keys, all that. As far as Brunson, look, it's just tough because he's he's 29. About to be 30, so I feel like he's young. Maybe that's because the first 3 years of he came off the bench for the first 3 years. Fourth year started to show some promise, but not enough to think any of this was possible. It's kind of like Steve Nash. Steve Nash was not very good his first 4 years, and then obviously took off. So it's similar to that. But it's hard to talk legacy with a guy that's had 4 great years and is right in the middle of his prime. That said, as I've said last week, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. We know that. Greatest Knick, Patrick Ewing, to me, has been the greatest Knick. He did it for, 15 years. Brunson only done it for 4. I get the longevity argument of that. We talked about Gus Williams and Dennis Johnson winning the championship in Seattle. I think Gary Payton's the greatest Sonic, so I don't just go by rings. But I do think Brunson will be, assuming I think he's going to have 4 or so more years, maybe more, at this level. So he has 4 more years of 26-6 and a championship. He's going to be the greatest Knick. Where you start ranking him as far as other players, I'm going to say this. I got 2 guys. And there could be more. I'm talking about 2 modern era guys on the top 75 that I would put him ahead of.
Okay.
And I'm not getting into Tiny Archibald and the older guys, Lenny Wilkins. I'll put him ahead of Damian Lillard now. I put him ahead of Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm putting him ahead of Steve Nash.
So I had
interesting.
And 2 quickly, I think he's on the heels of, and some people are going to say, oh, he's already past him. 2 he's on the heels of, modern day. James Harden.
That's on my list.
Because Harden has had a terrific career. If you just want to weigh the playoffs over the.
So I'm going to get into the Harden.
And the other one was on the chasing, not really on his heels, but chasing, Chris Paul.
That's a no for me.
So I disagree with you on Chris Paul. I thought, what about Carmelo?
They're totally different types of players.
Carmelo is fascinating.
What about him?
I think he's ahead of Carmelo.
I do too.
I think he's better than Carmelo.
So I was going to.
Jalen Brunson's ahead of Carmelo.
Yeah, because listen, I guess now at this point I can say our pal, Bill Simmons, got this kind of ball rolling saying he has him in his top 50 all time now. And his rationale was he values what Brunson did so much more than anything else in basketball. Can you be the lead guy, the go-to guy, the unquestioned alpha, and win a championship? And that vaults you, that is worth 5 first-team All-NBAs or 3 top 5 MVP. That is worth so much. So it's so funny. One of the guys I wrote down with a question mark is someone you mentioned but not in your list, which is Gary Payton. I have Melo, Gary Payton, Steve Nash, James Harden, I'm going to get to in a moment.
So you got him ahead of Harden.
I think, Harden, because Harden's regular season resume is just it's unbelievable. Crazy. And the other person I was going to mention is Clyde Drexler. I think is an interesting one. As far as I think he's chasing him, I think he's closer to Clyde than he is to Chris Paul. But I am not doing this to dunk on this person's opinion at all. This guy's a big Houston Rockets fan on Twitter. But I really liked this tweet because I think it unintentionally got to the bottom of a real basketball debate. So put up Biased Houston is the kid's name. James Harden is unquestionably better at basketball than Jalen Brunson. But if you told me I had to pick one of them to win me a playoff series, I am picking Jalen Brunson.
That's fair.
That's a no-brainer.
So, but it's the first it is the fact that I think a lot of people feel that way about player rankings and don't find it in conflict. The idea player A is obviously better, but when it comes to winning, I'd rather have player B. As if those are not
But you said that about
Luka. So that's
and I'm kind of saying that about Luka
right,
too.
So that is kind of where I was going with it, which is because there is a school of thought that who you would rather have to win a playoff series is who is better, rather than the skill, the bag, all of those things.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of us, that is true to a certain point, and then it's like, yeah, but this guy's so talented. So
we have this conversation.
We have this conversation all the time about a bunch of different things. So it is, for Brunson, it is a very unique test case on how much do our priors of size, how good a guy should be based on profile for different reasons, whether it's pedigree, draft position, size, depth of bag, all these things, versus
team around.
Right. Versus what he actually does.
Love it.
And so this is
so
maybe
where do you land on it?
So I think that where do I land on what? What do you
you mentioned. You were saying there's a conflict between he's a better player, but I'd rather have him in the playoffs. This guy or to win games. Which I get. I do think there's a tension there. Maybe a healthy tension.
Yeah.
I have a hard time putting Jalen Brunson ahead of Allen Iverson. I told you the other day, I think Iverson's better than Steve Nash, but I would rather have Steve Nash to start my team. So where are you at?
Well, I
think there's a tension
it
there
is
that we
not
can live with.
as clear. I am not certain. In fact, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I'm just talking. I am not certain the Knicks win the title if you replace Brunson and put Luka on the team. In fact, I think the team gets worse.
I don't think they would.
I think the team gets worse. If you also are asking me,
would you trade Jalen Brunson?
Right. If you're asking me, if I were starting my own team, and it's like, hey, you can have either one of them, I feel like I'm saying, well, give me Luke in a heartbeat.
I know, but it's the wrong answer.
It might be, but I can't.
This is where I've been.
I would not agree with that. I would agree Luke is better, but I wouldn't start my team.
This is the best. This is the best conversation. I love this.
I'm sorry you didn't.
You know what it is? Jalen Hurts.
I disagree.
His individual.
Yes, of course.
He's got the
won a championship in college. Drafted not number one. Gets to big games and wins. But he's not as good as Justin Herbert. I know he's not as good as everybody who doesn't win. That's exactly right. Wow, look at these shots. 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 58 seconds. We're counting down to USA, Australia, live from Seattle, only on Fox. Dax McCarty here next.
You have one new message. Translating. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers is now available on Disney+.
You could say that again.
Critics are calling it Pixar's funniest movie ever and a wildly entertaining ride. Blizzard Potato. It's certified fresh and verified hot.
Now we party.
This is incredible!
Wow, I am clearing the rest of the day.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, now available on Disney+. Rated PG.
Welcome back to First Things First. Seattle, stunningly beautiful. I have decided to take, when we go on vacation, I'm going to go out to Seattle. Remember, you thought I was going to go out today. I can't make the flight, but I think I'm going to go out to the Pacific Northwest. Team USA in Seattle today, 3 on Fox. We win the group with a win. We've only done this twice, 2010 and 1930. I was researching our 1930 World Cup appearance. We did great.
Just to be clear,
we did. Fantastic.
To win the group, we need a win and Turkey to not win. We don't lock up the winning group.
We could lock up
we would advance. We definitely advance with a win, but to win the group, we need a little help.
Today's matchup is a rematch of a chippy affair in October that saw Pulisic roughed up. Friend of the show, Chris Richards, angered with some choice quotes. And Coach Pochettino light into the team at half while instilling this mindset, according to Sebastian Berhalter. Take a listen.
We're American. We don't take and I think that's something that he really put in. And even though he's Argentinian, he has that mindset of like, look, this is what we do, and this is who we are, and this is what America's about.
Heck yeah, dude. Dax, welcome. Are you expecting a physical game? And bonus question, if it is a physical game, who does that favor?
Before coming on here, I was going to say I actually expect this to be the most physical game that we've seen in the World Cup so far. And so I did a little research and I went through what was the game that had the most fouls in it, just for some context. Well, now I expect it to be the second most physical game because Scotland against Haiti had 44 fouls in the game called. It was chippy. It was very contentious. And the second most up to this point has been Mexico, South Africa with 30 fouls.
And 3 red cards in that game, right?
Correct. Yeah. And so, listen, I think we're going to probably have a game that falls somewhere in between. And just for some fun historical context, in the 1982 World Cup, Italy's Claudio Gentile, he actually committed 23 fouls by himself.
Probably should have
trying to stop Maradona. Okay, so that kind of shows you in the.
At some point, you got to take a break.
He actually did get a yellow card.
One yellow card.
One yellow card. Yeah, if you did that now, you'd be put in prison. Okay. Yes, I expect it to be an extremely physical game, and if you look at kind of the narrative going into this game, let's go back to when the draw was made, the pots were made. If you were the U.S. men's national team and you were sitting there from looking at the team you were going to get from pot 2 and you got Australia, you were probably pretty happy. If I was a player, I would say, would I rather play Australia or Morocco, Senegal, Croatia? So you're pretty happy. And if you're the Australians and you're like, well, who could we get from pot 1, the best teams in the tournament, you're probably like, hey, we got the Americans.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Pretty excited about that, okay? And so, listen, you have 2 fan bases here who are both happy with the draw, and now you've had some media members add fuel to the fire, go back to that friendly in October where Christian Pulisic got the life kicked out of him, and he had to come out of the game in the 30th minute, some post-game quotes from some guys. This is a spicy affair. You are going to get an extremely energetic, physical matchup. The U.S., I think they met the moment against Paraguay in a brilliant way. They just completely suffocated Paraguay. They didn't let them get into their heads. This is going to be ramped up even another level against an Australian team who should be confident because they had a brilliant result against Turkey, and who, quite frankly, they feel extremely disrespected. And Kai Truin, one of their players, has come out and said, I've never been more excited for a game in my life. You are going to see fireworks today.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be extremely physical. If the friendly was that physical, now that there are real stakes, yeah, I think it's going to be. And I think Australia is a much bigger, stronger team than Paraguay.
They are.
So I think that's part of what they do. And they may look, I don't think they look at themselves as maybe a skills deficit compared to us, but that's one way they can minimize that difference. And so, and then with Pochettino, like at the friendly, you saw they said at halftime he lit into the players like, we got to be more physical. They're bullying us. I'm sure this whole week he's probably been drumming that into their heads like, look, they're going to come out and they're going to try to bully us. We have to match their energy and their toughness. So, yeah, I think this is definitely going to be that.
What's the quote you just said the Australian player said about the game?
We have it. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a listen.
Please.
I have never wanted to win a game more than this one, I can tell you that for free. Like I said before, I've never wanted to win a game more than I've wanted to win this game against the US for sure.
Okay.
I love
this,
that.
and I know we're about to talk. I know we're about to talk Pulisic with Dex. That makes me even more nervous about. You have Australian guys saying this is the biggest moment of my life, and either intentionally or unintentionally, the U.S. might be sending the message of, you know what, we don't even have to have this one. Like this is not a this guy's saying it's the biggest moment of my life, and if we don't have our best players starting, are saying, you know what, we'd like to have this game, but we don't have to have this game.
That's interesting.
I felt like they felt correctly in the first game against Paraguay. We have to start this World Cup out by announcing ourselves home World Cup. You talked lead up to it. The 6 times the U.S. has made the knockout round, they've gotten either a result in the opening game. The 4 times they haven't, they've lost the opening game. They have this massive sense of urgency. And now this will he or won't he with Pulisic. If it's won't he, maybe Gio takes it as this is my opportunity, but just subconsciously even does it signal to the team, yeah, this isn't a gotta have it spot. And I think it absolutely is a gotta have it spot.
That makes sense mixed messages wise, Dax. And we have seen some teams who feel like they didn't need to have it come out quiet. Spain came out kind of lackadaisical. France's first half. Portugal came out quiet. Is there any chance, at the same time we're talking about this being like the most physical game, or one of the most physical games, do you think there's mixed messages there from Pochettino?
No, I don't think there's any chance the U.S. comes out quiet in this game. They have been nothing but respectful, talking about how difficult of a game this is going to be against Australia, but that's publicly. Internally, I think you can bet that they are talking about how aggressive they need to start this game and how physical they need to be and how they need to match the moment. And the Pulisic stuff is really tricky because I agree with what both of you guys said at the top of the show. And Nick, I can guarantee you, I can promise you that if it was just a bruise, Christian Pulisic, he would be playing in this game right now. I guarantee it. You get the old Toradol shot. You shoot it up and you say, you know what, it's just a little bit of a pain tolerance thing, I'm playing. I believe, and listen, I'm not reporting this is an opinion, I believe that U.S. Soccer and Christian Pulisic have been a little bit coy in how they are describing what the injury is. Typically, what you would see after an injury and a guy gets subbed out at halftime with a kick or a muscular type of situation, he's going to go get a scan after the game. Whether it's the day after or 2 days after, depending on how it heals, you get a scan. I'm not saying there was anything there, but they are treating this with an extra amount of caution. And I am glad that they are. They need to be, because if you could tell me right now that Christian Pulisic plays in this game, but the chances of him not being 100% or re-injuring himself is even at 20%, 30%, I don't want that. If you could guarantee me that Christian Pulisic wouldn't play in this game against Australia, and we would, depending on the result, we would be able to get him 100% healthy for the rest of the tournament, I sign that every day of the week, because Nick is right about the different teams and the different scenarios that you play. But whether we play a great team or not, Christian Pulisic has to be on the field if we are going to make a deep run in this tournament. And 100% healthy.
If we finish second in the group, we're probably playing Argentina in the round of 16. And then we will be so excited leading up to that game, and it would take far and away the greatest upset in U.S. soccer history to beat Argentina in that round of 16. And then then the home World Cup is what so many World Cups have been, out before the quarterfinals. I want to be careful with what I'm saying. I am not saying I think it is just a bruise. What I am saying is, whatever it was, it is very clear to me his coach and his teammates thought,
correct,
immediately after the game and the day after the game, he's going to play.
I think during the game we had a report that he mouthed to somebody.
He gave a thumbs up to his. And something has changed from there.
Correct.
To where every day it was at the beginning of the week, okay, he's off to the side. Yeah. With the clear lean was, but he won't be much longer. Maybe it is really, the scan was really scary.
Sure.
But to me, if it is bad enough to where we are holding him out today, I don't know why everyone's like, but definitely he's going to play Wednesday. The idea, and if it is bad enough, Brew, to where he can't go today, then he's not going to be 100% in this tournament. That's not how, if we're talking about calf strains, that's not how that stuff works.
You're right. I'll push back on that just a little bit because, listen, this is the World Cup. There is nothing bigger than this moment, and there is no bigger tournament that he will ever play in. But speaking from personal experience, I had a little quad issue one time. And I knew it was there, but I could train 90%-ish. And Christian Pulisic hasn't trained fully leading up to this game, which is another issue when you're trying to be fit for a very physical game. Mm-hmm. I ended up playing in the next game in Major League Soccer, and my quad progressively got worse as the half wore on until eventually at halftime. I got through the half, no problem. At halftime.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
At the minute 1, where you
I felt great.
You did, okay.
I felt great. My warm-up felt great. I was like, there's something there, but I can get through it. I can manage the moment, right? And this is an MLS game versus a World Cup game. There are differences, of course. As I got further and further along the line at halftime, I couldn't play. And so I had to get subbed out, and it turned out I had a torn quad, and I was out for weeks. So I'm not saying that is the same situation, but I promise you, if Christian Pulisic had the chance to say it's just a bruise, like I'm playing, he would be on the field, which is why I say I just think it's a little bit more than that. Now, to your point, can he then play Wednesday? Sure. I think the recovery timeline for a very, very small, maybe like micro tear in the calf, I think that's plenty of time to recover and be fit for Turkey.
Mr. Gritty, you probably love that calf story out there. Quad story out there.
I respect that. I respect that. No, I just think they need to be smart about it. And what percentage will he be when he goes out there? If he can play, but he's 50%, I don't think that's – and there's a risk that he re-aggravates, which, again, is exactly what happened in the first game.
Yep.
Like, he had done it before the game and re-aggravated it. So I just think we have to play a squad.
This is why you have a squad.
This is our best we got.
And he is our best player, but this is why you have to rely on all kinds of people coming together with the player, with the management staff, with the doctors to say what is the best current decision to be able to not only protect our player, but to have us go on the deepest run possible. That has to be the only thing that factors into the decision.
Nick, let me say this, because what this reminds me of is when Kevin Durant was injured against Toronto. And remember, there was a rumbling. He had the calf injury, and there was a rumbling like he could play. Like, even whether it was the team, the front, it was a feeling of he could play. Like, what is this? Is this something with free agency, whatever? He goes out there. Now, he could run in a straight line. And he did that for 11 minutes and was fine. Once he started moving laterally a little, it tore the Achilles. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. So I just think
practice is a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Game, chaotic. You cannot control that.
So since he didn't play in practice, that's why
that is the biggest red flag for me.
Is LeBron headed to Golden State? Team USA headed to Seattle. We're counting down to the game at 3 o'clock on Fox. 4 hours, 15 minutes, and 23 seconds.
This summer, soccer is here, and so are the watch parties. And Uber Eats has your game day essentials covered with 30% off orders from Aldi, Kroger, and Dollar General. Everything you need to keep your crowd happy, delivered straight to your door. Chips, dips, fresh ingredients, and more. Order in so you can lock in for the games. 30% off your grocery order, only on Uber Eats for a limited time.
Looks like all signs are pointing towards LeBron rejoining the Lakers. But Anthony Slater writing, if negotiations break down, the Warriors are a willing suitor. Now, it'd be weird if the negotiations break down and LeBron goes to the Warriors, because the Warriors can only offer about $15 million, very team-friendly from Golden State's perspective. Would you rather see LeBron with the Lakers or Golden State?
I think as far as money, and I don't know that this is the case, but sometimes a player may be willing to take less with another team because he feels disrespected by the team he's with.
I think that's
you're only offering
totally
this, right?
legitimate, and I think that is very often the case.
Yeah.
Or like a $20 million gap? $30 million gap?
I think with LeBron, it's obviously it's about respect, because the money is, he's got plenty of money. It's about the respect, I think.
Well, $30 million.
But I don't think the Lakers are going to offer him $50 million.
No.
What are they going to offer?
I think
no, I'd be stunned if they offered him that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lakers might try, because the thing is this. What the $15 million, sorry, bro, just real, the $15 million the Warriors can offer, that's the mid-level exception. So that a bunch of teams have that exact amount available. The only teams with cap space are the Nets, and there's one other bad team, the Bulls. Two places he's not going to go. So the Lakers might try to leverage the fact that $15 million is the most you can get elsewhere. So why don't you play for us for $20?
Okay.
I think that's.
And they also got to do other things. Look, I will not be upset if LeBron goes to the Lakers. It would be fine.
Warriors.
But But I'm saying the Lake or stays with the Lakers.
Okay, yeah.
But they're not going to win the championship unless there's a lot of other incredible additions, right? They have to at some point. We know LeBron can play with LeBron and be effective, and they'll be good with Luka. I'm sorry. But at some point, they have to start to rebuild totally around Luka in a way that can maybe get them a championship. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why if LeBron were to go to the Warriors, I'd be fine with it. I think the Lakers would be fine with it. I would rather, to the question, I'd rather see him with the Warriors. I don't think either team will win the championship. I just think it would be incredible if him and Steph played together. I mean, the starting five presumably will be Steph, Jimmy Butler when he gets back, Draymond, LeBron, and I say they re-sign Porzingis. Like that's a nice starting five. Now again, it's not the tier one with the Spurs, the Thunder, and I think the Timberwolves, but I think it's right below it. And it would just be interesting and exciting. And LeBron and Steph, not only for the names and the legends they are, but the way they would play together, I think, would be very effective. I think we'd
also show one of those graphics. Like, turns out this starting five has only played 100 minutes together.
Oh,
All-Star break.
You want to go, KW?
I'm dovetailing this in with the Knicks championship. That has the Knicks championship where they were just a third-place team that went 53-29. The Lakers were a four-seed team that went 53-29. They have a guard who's a ball handler, who's a defensive liability, and a big man who's largely a defensive liability. But they kind of figured out what was going on in the regular season, got to the playoffs, and nobody wanted to play them. Could that be a path? Are we just saying the Knicks did it? We can do it too. We could get hot. We obviously beat the Rockets. I don't know if the Thunder with Luka on that team, a Lakers team with Luka on it, would have just rolled the Lakers. They did in the regular season.
They were expected to.
I think in real time, I know in real time you thought they were drawing dead against the Thunder.
But now that I saw the path where it's like, be okay, get to the playoffs and cook. The Knicks just did it.
I do think that the Lakers, one of the taxes of Luka's injury is just the unknown of what this team would have looked like in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Had Luka not gotten hurt and they get just dusted by the Thunder in round two, then at least you have that certainty of we need to make major changes. Not ever really having a fully healthy Luka and LeBron on a playoff run before they break up would be, just a big what if, even if or a small what if of what they could be. I think, I agree with Brew that the Lakers need to, independent of LeBron, figure out pieces to put around Luka. I think that is going to be so much easier said than done. Like, the centers who are potentially available are restricted free agents. That is not easy. Jalen Duren, I think the Pistons will just match the offer. Now, looks like Walker Kessler, is in a bit of a standoff with Utah. Maybe there is something that can be done there. They also need to time it with Austin right now has a small cap hold, but is about to get a massive raise. And then you have the fact that LeBron is still their second best guy that they might lose for nothing. But they also need LeBron to do them a favor and take less than his market value. I personally, maybe it will change now the Dodgers ownership is there, don't really trust that the Lakers front office is going to be able to refit this roster on the fly because they've had multiple transaction cycles since they had Luka, and they have only really done, ate around the edges.
I agree. Even with, let's say LeBron left, I agree. Like, it's still going to be hard for them to build around Luka, but they got to start it at some point.
And so I had been anti-LeBron going to the Warriors. If he's not going to win a championship in either place, I think it'd be more fun to see.
Super fun. All right, we're counting down to USA, Australia today at 3 p.m. on Fox. One of 4 games on the slate. Scotland, Morocco from Boston. Brazil, Haiti from Philly. And Turkey, Paraguay from the Bay Area. We'll see if any of those teams end up on Title Pie coming up next.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
This guy. I told you. I tried to tell you.
Bad timing on my part.
This guy's eating.
Second hour, first things first.
He's eating a coffee cake for Title Pie.
I'm trying to like market.
You got something on your lips, bro. I mean, this
it's
is
coffee crumble.
I understand. The bit is during Title Pie, you and Brew eat to distract me, and you can at least say it's content. You were just eating during the break, and it's something that's you need something to wash down.
Wow.
Title Pie.
It's good cake, though.
Yeah.
It's good cake. I had some.
It looks
Today,
delicious.
Team USA looking for a win against Australia at 3 o'clock. I'm Tim Marine, friend of the show. We have a lot of friends of the show. We have so many people.
And I cannot. Tyler Adams will do the Jalen Brunson celebration if they score.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Does he have to score?
Not a big goal scorer, Tyler
No,
Adams.
I'm saying, but if someone else scores, they cut to Tyler Adams, and then he does
celebrate
it.
with him.
That would be
egregious
to do a celebration.
You can't do a celebration
for
unless
someone
you
else's
score?
goal.
What if he assists?
You got to score. You got to score.
Spotlight. You have to score.
You got.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You have to.
Brew, when you have a good point, I go, yeah, yes. Good for the team.
He has to score to do it.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys. Are they done talking about the Super Bowl? We discuss. But right now, you're in for a real treat, literally. It's time to see who has the recipe for success in regulation and extra time.
Well done.
THYME, the spice.
Okay. Spelling jokes don't work as well.
But did you see it on the prompter? Extra time, in which teams are just cooked with a little bit of nutmeg.
I get it.
You guys don't.
I get it.
Don't.
And I like it. No, I like it.
It's time for a fresh edition of Title Pie. This time, featuring a pie that I cut, so I didn't have to.
It doesn't even work.
What?
It's a cake. It's got a hole in the middle. You're already eating.
No, it's like, look at this slice.
Got it.
Scotland.
So here's the deal. You know what the expanded World Cup has created through at least the first week or so?
What?
A lot of parity.
True.
A lot of teams that it's like, hey, do we have a shot? Because of that, some of the biggest teams, or biggest nations, biggest favorites, even if they played well, might have seen their slice get a little bit smaller because we have to make room for so many more teams. Here are teams that couldn't quite make the pie, but less than 1%. But they're still acknowledged. South Korea, Scotland, Australia, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Austria, DR Congo, Ghana, and Croatia. Now, let's get right to it. 5 teams with a 1% slice. Canada has 1%. Egypt, Switzerland, Sweden, and Uruguay. Canada's all but clinched the group, as you were talking about earlier. They're all but clinched knockout round, pardon me. They're 99% to advance. They're going to advance. Egypt had a great draw against Belgium. Switzerland already has 4 points, and it's them and Canada fighting for that group. Sweden in a brutal group with Japan and Netherlands, but they're on the pie. And Uruguay, maybe I'm higher on Uruguay than most, certainly than the odds makers. I thought they played awesome in the second half of their opening match game and just got a little unlucky. And the group opens up quite a bit because Spain looks shaky all of a sudden. All right, to the 2%ers. Japan gets moved up to 2% thanks to its draw with Netherlands. Belgium moves down to 2%, or stays at 2%, pardon me, due to its draw with Egypt, which is a little concerning and maybe opens up that group for Egypt to win it. Colombia, 3%. That because of Portugal's draw, shocking draw to DR Congo, all of a sudden Colombia's like, can we win this group? They absolutely can. Mexico already won their group. Host nation already won their group. Great win yesterday against Korea. They're up to 3%. Netherlands at 3% down, as all of a sudden that group looks tougher than expected. You see Japan's on the pie, Sweden's on the pie, Could the Netherlands potentially need one of those third-place spots to advance to the knockout round? It's possible. Morocco, up to 4%. Great draw against Brazil. And now, just in the last 2 World Cups, they have beat Belgium, they have beat Spain, they have beat Portugal, they drew against Brazil. They are, they are more than punching above their weight when playing some of the historical powers. They're up to 4%. The U.S., up to 5%, with the opportunity to, with a win and a little bit of help from Paraguay, win the group today, and then Christian Pulisic and everybody can have all the rest they want. They don't have to play in the third game. They can chill. They can relax. It all sets up quite nicely. Must win today. Norway versus France a week from today. One of the best games, in my opinion, of the group stage. Erling Haaland, how far can he carry his country? That's the question. Down to 5%. Norway's got 5%, they're thrilled. Portugal's got 5%, not thrilled. And the vibes, KW, vibes meter for Portugal,
pretty
not
bad.
Great.
Pretty bad.
Now again, Twitter is not a very reliable source of information. It's particularly unreliable when you don't speak the language of the video you're watching. Sure. Or you don't know if the videos are real. Then when they are real, it's like, I don't speak Portuguese. But a lot of the show translation stuff on what I'm hearing out of Portugal, not great. Again, I can't report it because I'm not sure exactly if it's accurate, but it seems like there's a little
panic.
A little panic and a little,
station.
and maybe, you see this in the NBA a lot. Are a lot of the people that are Portugal supporters just actually Cristiano Ronaldo supporters?
Yes.
And
sure.
And do the other players on the team feel that? Are they all of a sudden getting criticized by people who are supposed to be rooting for them? I don't know. Vibes are bad. Speaking of bad vibes, the only thing worse than bad vibes is bankrupt bank account Spain. Thanks a lot. 7%. Just unforgivable. Now they can make up for it not for me. For me, it's over. But for them, if they can still win the group. They get a couple wins. Nobody will care about the Cape Verde loss again, except for me. A touchdown to 8%. Brazil. I think a lot of the panic about Brazil is a sneaky Morocco diss. Morocco was in the semifinals last year. Yeah. Tying them, there's no shame in that. You know who would have loved to tie Morocco last year? Portugal, who lost to them. Spain, who lost to them. Brazil played a bad opening half, came out, evened it up, got a point, no problem. Up to 9%, Germany. They won 7-1. It's pretty good. There's not much more needs to be said.
It was
Curacao.
But still, there was several powerhouses versus small countries that didn't do 7-1.
Okay.
This pie is always fair. England up to 10%. They looked spectacular offensively throughout the entire game and defensively in the second half. They're up to 10%. Harry Kane, one
quality.
Thanks, KW. One of the, I think it's now 12 players with multi-goal games already in this tournament. Down, and this might seem unfair, but keep in mind this is just a course correction from how giant of a slice they had before. Down to 14% France. So this is not because France didn't look excellent in the first game. It's just because I think now that we have seen 10 days of this tournament, it feels like, man, nobody is a runaway favorite with the depth that it appears as teams that can win it. With that said, I moved up just ahead of France, Argentina. Whatever the vibes are in Portugal, the opposite vibes are going in Argentina right now. I think Argentina's potential path also might be a touch easier than France's. And obviously, Messi just had a hat trick and looked amazing. That is, after the first week of the World Cup,
title pie.
That's good.
Dax?
Don't have a ton of qualms with your title pie, especially the top.
Okay.
But we are going to disagree about Brazil. Wow. Maybe until the knockout rounds.
You gotta just keep. Loves disrespecting Morocco. I think Morocco's pretty good.
No, I'm not disrespecting Morocco. I think Morocco needs to be higher in your title pie. I actually think they need to be higher than Brazil in your title pie.
Well, even would be the best, I would assume.
But
go ahead.
Precisely because of Morocco and their performances in their last tournaments. And listen, I'm a big performance guy.
Yeah.
There are some things to be said, especially in soccer. performance versus result, outcome. And so Morocco played significantly better than Brazil. Brazil is playing a Haiti team, a plucky Haiti team that will foul a lot, as alluded to earlier. But Brazil's going to win that game, and it's probably going to give you a lot of confidence. But the result is not as important as the performance to me. And even more concerning, what Carlo Ancelotti said about his team being nervous, anxious. When have you ever heard Brazil be nervous, anxious about anything? I'm a little bit nervous for Brazil, and I think they're a little bit too overvalued.
So I want to talk about tonight's Brazil-Haiti game just for a moment, because I think this is, because Brazil and Morocco drew, and I can't remember the fourth team in the group. It's Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and someone will tell me in my ear. Because Brazil and Morocco drew, tied.
Scotland.
Thank you, Scotland. I appreciate it. And because Scotland, I think, is... No, I know that, but I'm saying Brazil and Morocco both expect they're going to be favored against Scotland and against Haiti.
Yeah.
The group is, if those favorites hold, then the group is going to come down to goal differential. The reason I say that is this. I'd be nervous if I were a Haiti fan these next two games. Because what is going to determine who wins the group, unless Scotland can have a pretty big upset, is going to be how badly do you beat Haiti by. Like, it is in Brazil's interest. Like, it is in Brazil's interest to try to win by 5 goals if they can.
Yeah.
Like, because that is what will determine the group. So that is, it's in New Jersey tonight, that game against Haiti, and I think that could get ugly. And I will say this: if Brazil wins by 1 goal, I will be concerned, because they absolutely are incentivized to win by 3 or 4 if they can.
Yep. And then the other part of your pie, Colombia. Great performance against Uzbekistan. I actually think you're undervaluing them a little bit. And we talk about all the great players that we have seen so far in this tournament, the multi-goal scorers, the big names stepping up. There is a big name that has stepped up that we're not talking about enough. Luis Diaz, one of the best wingers in the tournament, had a goal, had an assist against Uzbekistan. And down in Mexico, 80,000 people there, 79,000 of them were Colombian. And they were unbelievable. We've seen some great fan bases throughout the tournament. Colombian fans are second to none. Luis Diaz is a player that we're sleeping on a little bit, and the Colombian performance is a performance that's a little bit of a goalkeeper should do better. We've seen a few of those this year. Yep. But Luis Diaz has his stamp on this Colombia team all over it. Their last goal was an absolute work of art. Cucho Hernandez used to play in Major League Soccer with everything people say about soccer and about how soft, you go down, you look for fouls. This is one of my favorite goals of the tournament. The fact that he sticks with the play, puts a dime into the box. It's one of the best goals of the tournament, actually, so far. And I think Colombia, especially with the bad vibes in Portugal, which I agree with you 100%, and I'm a little concerned about Portugal. I think Colombia is actually very, very much should be 50-50 favorite to win that group now.
So that, and again, I'm focused on this probably more than most. Because of the expanded field, the benefit of winning the group of 8 of the 12 group winners get a third place team in the round of 32, and the 4 that don't have to play another first place team potentially until the round of 8. It actually, while it became easier to make the knockout round, it became a greater benefit to winning your group. So that's one of the, listen, I have Colombia. I think the pie likes them more than Vegas does, giving them a 3% shot, because they absolutely now can win that group with Portugal.
I'm going to start off with a bonus take.
Bonus take.
Love it.
Congo did not make the pie. I'm going to move them into the group of 5 and give them 1%. Okay. And I'm going to replace Switzerland.
Wow.
Now, Switzerland, didn't they tie Qatar?
They did, but
Qatar is the only team Qatar is better than in the whole tournament is Curacao.
Wow.
I mean, what do we? The Congo tied Portugal.
Big result for Switzerland yesterday.
Yeah,
it was nice yesterday, but I'm just saying.
But they did go a long time without scoring. It was nil.
Okay. All right, but my real take, I'm just moving Spain up, just ahead of Brazil.
What does Spain did not? Okay, here we go.
That's how they start tournaments. All right. They've only won 3 of their 15 World Cup openers. Their last 15 World Cup openers.
I don't think
5 of their
Tell
total
them about
17.
Lamine Yamal.
Yes, Lamine Yamal played 20 minutes.
That's not a positive.
And Nico Williams played 3 minutes. I mean, watch the next performance. Sunday, who they playing Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I think
Saudi Arabia is in trouble.
Well,
All right, French is going to announce to the world, we are back. You were a prisoner of the moment in game one.
Is Jamal going to go for? When are we going to see 100% Jamal?
I think he starts.
Okay.
I think he starts.
Then I will be
fine.
What do you think
they should just move
bar, KW?
This pie is a Royal Spain. I mean,
it's the first time I'm seeing it. This is Dusty. That's the genius of Dusty.
Well,
or lack of
KW.
genius, whatever you want to call it.
oh, someone's got to ride for the good old US of A, and it looks like it's your old buddy Kevin Wildes. Here's my bar. We just straight up played better than some of the traditional powerhouses that are above them. And I understand it's like, well, and 20 years ago when we had a full different team and a different coach, this happened. From what I've seen from watching these games, the United States of America played better than Spain, played better than Portugal, played better than Brazil. It's just the truth. Creatively, we had 22 successful 1v1s. It's the most by any team since 2014 when Brazil had 24 against Chile. Possession in the first half, this is USA specific. We had the ball 71% of the time, our most since 1990. We had 4 goals. It's more than we had in the entire 2022 World Cup. Just that one day, Gio, got it over. First time we won a game by 3 since 1930.
What are you laughing
I wrote Brew was just a kid. I didn't think that was fair, but it was written down.
Yeah, who wrote it down?
I don't know. Again, I don't do all this stuff. Dusty probably. I'm also, because it's rich tapestry, it's a little bit of projection title pie, right? Or is that yeah, a little projection, a tiny bit of projection.
It's a rich tapestry.
We got Australia at 3. We've already beaten Australia, so I expect to win again. It was a friendly, but already beaten. And they had their 2-0 win was not like our 4-1 win.
True.
They possess the ball for 29% of the time.
Tell them the most overrated stat in soccer.
Okay, I totally get it. But if one team we're 71%
No, they were outshot
and we were in the
30 to
60
9.
and outshot 39. It's like,
Better
well,
stat.
some of them were outside the box. I don't care. It's 30-9.
Look, while
Turkey controlled that game. Australia had the win. We controlled the game. We got the win.
Some teams are comfortable playing like that.
Getting outshot 30-9?
You could argue teams control the game like that in soccer. And I would. Australia is very comfortable. You're going to see the U.S. 70% possession in the first half.
Love it. Well, then I would
Doesn't mean anything.
Well, if we control it for 72%, it'll be the most possession we've had in the first half since last Friday.
I think U.S. is right where they should be.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 6 teams I have ahead of them.
I'm not into tradition, though. I'm new school. Okay?
I understand.
I'm not like, hey, remember Brazil's Nike commercial 20 years ago? I do.
Can I ask you, what do you think happened to Spain in his first game? What's the number one reason they didn't look great?
I think their stars didn't play.
Right. The star
was
was banged up.
And I think they were lackadaisical.
Okay, well, so I'm more focused on the first and the second. That's what I'm worried about for the U.S. today.
Buddy, we got another star coming in.
I'm telling you, whatever our depth is, I'm very confident. I'm confident that Spain is better equipped to be should be better equipped, has better depth to replace Jamal than we are to replace Pulisic. And we saw Spain. Now, yes, they also overlooked Cape Verde. We saw Spain really look like a totally different team without Jamal out there. That first, we looked like a different team half to half.
I know, but I think
Pulisic
that we were
off
up
the field.
3-0.
Okay.
You're up 3-0. I don't think you have the same game plan. Then Gio's like, hey, I know we're chilling, but I'm going to get in the game and score, and he did.
Okay.
Watch Gio. I know you want to get your money back. From your Spain. You even called it was a draw, and you called it a loss because it was a personal loss to you. Throw a little money on Gio anytime. Just a little bit.
I don't know.
I don't have any money left.
That. But you do have pie. You have cake
left.
Cake.
You got cake, though.
Oh, that's title pie. Are the Cowboys already thinking Super Bowl? Maybe, but they're not talking about it. That's next. And, of course, we're counting down to Team USA and a Gio anytime goal. 3 hours, 37 minutes. Oh, now we're down to 36 minutes. Live from Seattle on Fox.
You know what? I want to bet
what?
A Pulisic anytime goal.
Oh, we're throwing the fish.
Bet he should play.
Welcome back to First Things First. We're counting down to USA, Australia, 2 goals against Paraguay for Balogun, only the second U.S. player ever with 2 goals in a World Cup game for the U.S. The great Bert Patnaud, hat trick in 1930, also against Paraguay. How about that? Interesting trivia. Greg, this game's in Seattle. You never played in that stadium. That's a new stadium, though, right, Greg?
Come on.
How new is that? I thought that new.
I mean, not that
Not that new. Looks
Do you
new,
think
but
Greg
it's
was
not
playing
that.
in the Kingdom?
I don't know. I don't know.
He thought you wore a leather helmet.
I don't know. Didn't they do like a new edition or something?
Well, to read the.
Gosh darn it! Sorry. American football, Cowboys.
Never played in that stadium.
I thought
you
it
played
was,
against Dick Butkus.
When you played, wasn't Seattle in the AFC?
I thought they started a new
Yeah.
stadium. That's what Steve.
Steve Largentkoff and I were going back and forth.
You ever played Jerry World?
Yes, in the Super Bowl.
Heck yeah, dude! Yes! American football. Cowboys famous for talking about the Super Bowl, the godfathers of the term SBOB. But it looks like there's been a change. And Coach Brian Schottenheimer seems to go out of his way not to say Super Bowl. Take a listen.
I love our roster. You know, I love the changes that we've made on defense. I love Dak's grasp of what we're doing offensively. We do have one goal, and that one goal is the highest of the high, but that's what we're pursuing. And so with that, you know, I feel very, very confident and believe that we're going to find a way to be in that game and win it.
Sorry, I'm just. Go ahead, bro.
Brew? Did you like that? Cowboys not talking about the Super Bowl, going out of their way not to say the phrase.
We don't know what they were talking about? It took him 1 year as head coach to catch Jerry fever. And now you're talking about you won 7 games last year. And now you're talking about the Super Bowl in June. It's ridiculous. I don't like it, Wilds.
I don't think so.
But I don't love it either.
What?
So I don't like it. I don't love it. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. The way he did it was fine.
Okay, all right.
The way he did it was.
He's purposely
I like
not
my
saying
team.
it.
I like my team. I watched the whole clip, of course.
The whole time out. The whole clip or the whole interview?
Just the whole, the context of that question.
Okay.
And he's just saying we've improved. And of course, the way he said it, I took it like, well, of course, the goal is to win the last game, the Super Bowl. So, and he purposely avoided that word. So, I'm cool. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm with Brew on one part. Like, this is what we do every single time we talk about the Cowboys this time in the season. I don't like it.
You love it?
I don't. I do love it. I do love it. Thank you, Brew. Like, so for me, I watched the entire.
Wow.
It was like,
oh my God.
30 minutes.
Wow.
I watched everything because
Greg doesn't have to do any World Cup prep like us.
Exactly. I'm down there. That's all I got. It's my only hit. So I watched everything. I listened to everything. And one of the things that he started to talk about just the Wilds, what are you high on? You were high all last season with the Patriots on
Door Destiny?
vibes.
Oh, yeah, the vibes are crazy.
The vibes. When you listen to Shotty talk about his team, it's directed on the defensive side of the ball and surrounding Christian Parker and what they've been able to do, what he's doing. He's changing the vibes of even how they practice. And he's talking about it. We haven't even put on pads yet, so I'll reserve my judgment until we do that. Yet, he can't stop talking about the excitement, the trash talk that Christian Parker is having with Dak, with CD, with George, the defensive side making it difficult. So they made all these acquisitions, free agency, obviously the focus was defense in the draft, and then you have somebody who is changing how you practice in OTAs. how you present yourself in OTAs and Christian Parker, like we know their offense is going to be just fine. But if their defense continues to improve with being young, with understanding a lot of these guys, they don't care about what it's been in the past. Like, it is real. I'm going to say it right now. This team has a chance. And they can not say Super Bowl. I don't care what they do. They have a chance to win it.
You got Jerry Fever.
Wow. No, this is not Jerry Fever.
One video and you got Jerry Fever.
When you have the type of offense and the prolific quarterback and the weapons that you have, and he talked about moving CeeDee Lamb around a little bit more and doing the things that makes him great, but also having things that branches off those. When you start having conversations like that because a guy on the other side of the ball is challenging you to make it look different, Quinnen Williams coming in and he's talking about not himself, but Coach, I just want to win. Schottenheimer talks about, you know what, we need those type of players where they're not talking about themselves and their personal accolades. He hasn't been to the playoffs in his entire career. And now all of a sudden he just comes in and he's talking about, I just want to win. I'm going to tell you, anybody who's been in the kitchen, if you add a little grease, it only takes one little thing. I don't care how high you got the burner on, how low you got it on. You throw some grease on it, you're going to get some action. They put Christian Parker in that building, they about to have some action.
Wow.
This guy's out here.
He got one shot today.
He's taking it. Boom! He just emptied the clip. Unbelievable. That was fantastic,
Greg, last year, after they traded Micah, we talked a lot about how the Cowboys were going to have to try to follow the Bengals blueprint of all offense, no defense. And they did follow the Bengals blueprint on missing the playoffs and having an excellent offense.
They did.
Yesterday we talked a little Bengals when Burrows, said best, as excited as he's been since the LSU team, I'm paraphrasing. I have way more faith that the Cowboys can improve dramatically defensively, to your point, than I do Cincinnati.
Sure.
In that, Brew has made this point repeatedly, that when Dak's healthy, now most of that obviously was under Mike McCarthy, but when Dak's been healthy in his career, they've had an excellent offense. Mm-hmm. He now has, a second season with two elite wide receivers. So I think the offense is going to be good, and I thought Schottenheimer was a pretty large, pleasant surprise last year as a rookie head coach as far as handling the Micah trade. I know that it was a bad season for them because of who they were defensively. I thought Schottenheimer did a good job. I think everything you said, I echo as far as that defense being able to take a big leap. And so I think it's all, coaches always kind of have to balance this time of year, like, you can't even say, like, we're just focused on the first game. Like, it's so far out. So you're going to sometimes have Super Bowl type of quotes. So I think he handled that fine. But more importantly, I agree with Greg. I do think this team has very high upside. And they tied for the 15th best odds to win the Super Bowl. That does strike me as a touch low. Mm-hmm. Now, they could have another year like last year where the defense doesn't gel, and even with Quinnen Williams there for the whole year, the defense holds them back. But I think they do have an opportunity to take a big leap on that side of the ball.
Remember, Wilds, I picked them to win the NFC East, and then Nick copied that take.
I have not copied that take. It
feels like it's not predictions week.
Who's winning the NFC East?
I don't know yet. It's not predictions week.
I know who Greg's picking.
There is something I do know real quick before we go. This is important. Greg, what year were you drafted?
01.
01. Seattle's stadium was built in 02.
I actually wasn't drafted. I thought I didn't know where you were going.
No.
I was drafted in 06.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay. I didn't know where you was going.
Let me kind of ruined. So Seattle's stadium's was around when Greg was in high school.
Well,
but there was renovations to it?
I don't know. Buddy.
Can we check if there's renovations?
The name changed. The sponsorship changed.
Well, that changes.
You said,
have you played there?
In this
His
stadium?
whole career, that stadium existed.
Like
again, this is why I need to go to Seattle. See some of the sights, take in some of the history.
I was in the replacement refs game. You remember
Were you really?
No, he's making.
I got to get on your Wikipedia. I felt like I knew you were. Is it a must-win For the U.S. men's national team, we're counting down to USA, Australia on Fox in 3 hours. There's Christian Pulisic. We do not know if he's going to play. Greg, if it was you, yeah, you'd give it a go.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
Also,
that's why you got coaches and trainers. Got to hold off sometimes.
It really was a test there of my arrogance when Greg told me the year he was drafted, and in my head I'm like, no, you weren't. but I'm like, who am I to tell him? But it says 2001, and I'm like, that's not true at all. I was like, he's trying to tell me you played 15 years? No, you didn't.
Welcome back to First Things First. Friend of the show, Chris Richards, said that Australia was lucky that he was on a yellow because he would have killed somebody in the friendly matchup. So
yeah, I'm a little worried about other friend of the show, Tyler Adams, not being able to play against Turkey potentially because of yellow card accumulation. But he's already on a yellow.
Yeah.
But if he gets the win, does that really matter necessarily?
Well, again, if
depends on.
Yeah, I mean,
Paraguay.
if Turkey, if we win and Turkey wins, then if Turkey beats us in the final group stage game, they win the group.
I'm locked into it right now. Team USA has not won consecutive World Cup matches since 1930. Today's match between the top teams in Group D. We're up in goal differential, but we both have 3 points. We'd both advance with a win, and we'd advance with a win in a Paraguay win or draw.
Yep.
Is today a can't lose?
It is not only a can't lose, it is a must win.
A must straight up win.
It is a must.
You need to win.
It is a must win.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to tell you why. The U.S. men's national team has captivated a nation with their performance in the first game. And whether they like it or not, that is the standard. That performance and result is the standard with which we will judge them moving forward. And so, you may not have Pulisic. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you know what you do have? You do have home field advantage. You are playing a World Cup on home soil for the first time since 1994. And not only that, you are playing in one of the best cities to play in with a soccer-rich culture and supporters that absolutely are going to be a quote-unquote 12th man. Like they literally are in Seattle. So there are no excuses. I don't care about the physicality with which Australia plays with. I don't care what happens in the game. There are no excuses for this U.S. men's national team because the performance that they had is the most comprehensive performance from minute 1 to minute 90 that we have ever seen from a U.S. men's national team in a World Cup. Fundamentally, we have talented players, we've got a great coach, and if you follow that performance against Paraguay up with, I don't want to say a dud, but with an underwhelming performance.
Yeah.
Well, then their questions are going to seep in. And everyone's going to start saying, well, is it just a flash in the pan? Do not let people question you. Go out on the field, make no mistake. That is a must-win game. And to Nick's point with what he said earlier, I want this U.S. team to make history. I want them to go as far as they possibly can. I want to be talking about the U.S. men's national team, not just in a quarterfinal, but in a semifinal against some of the best teams that we have in this tournament. You can only do that if you win today. Go win.
Let's go.
I'm with Dax on that. Like, definitely a must win because of the vibes.
Great.
Like, the whole nation is excited now and starting to dream, starting to think, what can they do?
Yep.
And if you go out and you have a mediocre game, look, as far as getting to the next round, the draw, I mean, I know we could do it even with a loss.
Yep.
But a draw certainly wouldn't kill us, but it would kill some of the vibes.
Yes.
And it might start feeling like, okay,
Yep.
same old U.S., we're okay, we're pretty good, but we don't have a shot of doing anything special. So I think that for those reasons, they need to go out and have a great performance and win.
What am I going to say, KW?
Yeah, it comes around once every 4 years. You got to play.
I agree with everything you guys are saying, which is why I think it'd be a good idea for the best player to see if he can give it a go. I agree with all of this. I totally think it's a must-win. I think the vibes are important, and I think the guy who's supposed to be the greatest player in the history of American soccer, we should try to go see if he can play. That's just my humble opinion because
fair take.
just if we can show the path that we showed earlier in the show, because this is what you were alluding to earlier. If we win the group, We play a third-place team in the round of 32, which right now is Bosnia, Ecuador, Japan, Senegal, Jordan. We don't know who it would be, but it's third-place team. Then in the round of 16, overwhelmingly likely you play Belgium or Egypt. Not an easy game, but... And then in the quarters, again, if the favorite's held, you play a Spain team that we just saw.
There.
Yep. Yeah, a Spain team that could get knocked out early, in which case you play a team ranked worse than them. If you finish second in the group, which if they don't win today becomes a very likely outcome. Yes, you still play Belgium, Egypt, but it's a round earlier. And then in the round of 16, you play what might be the single best team in the world. And so I'm not saying that's an impossibility, but your likelihood of going on a deep run is so dramatically impacted. The U.S. already, we played great against Paraguay. We also have some structural advantages that go along with home field advantage, hosting the World Cup, which is the host nations automatically become, as you were talking about earlier, pot one teams. So we didn't have the world ranking that deserved to make sure there were no other top 12 teams in our group, except for the fact that because we're a host nation, we get that. So that only happens when you're hosting.
Yep.
We got, I think, very fortunate with the actual draw we got, which is we talk about group of death all the time. This was close to the opposite of that. You then started off so well, and the team that most people thought was your biggest competition outplayed Australia and lost anyway, to the point you were making earlier. Outshot them 30-9. Everything has fallen just right so far, and the U.S. has made
perfect storm.
Its own luck to a degree. It all gets stymied if they don't win today. And I'm not arguing they can't win without Pulisic.
No, we get it.
But I am saying, I think we are a little higher on our own supply if we think you take away our best player against a team like Australia that, we should win that game anyway.
What percentage chance do you give us of winning without Pulisic?
Winning? 40%.
I'm at 100.
So you think we're...
I think draw becomes I think 40% to win. So if Pulisic doesn't play, 40% to win, 30% to draw, 30% to lose is what I would say.
Where are you at on that, Dax?
Significantly higher. We don't have a like-for-like replacement for Christian
That's
Pulisic
what I
on
was
the
gonna
roster,
ask you.
and we don't. Fundamentally, we don't. If he cannot play, you're looking at a situation where you maybe bring Tim Weah into the team, who provides you a lot of great 1v1 ability, a lot of pace, but he's not as comfortable in the middle of the field. And then you're probably moving Serginho Dest to the left, or your boy Gio.
But Gio wants to be in the middle.
He does want to be in the middle, and then the combination with Anthony Robinson out on the left, it's just not the same. And so, because of that, it falls. Certainly the chances of winning without Pulisic fall, but not as great, I think, as Nick is saying. We should still have the expectation, and we should still put pressure on this team that it doesn't matter if Pulisic's not going to play. The chances of us winning are still going to be high.
If Pulisic does play, and in the friendly, what sort of sparked everything is hard tackles from Australia on Pulisic, which knocked him out of the game.
Yeah.
If I was an Australian soccer fan or player, and Pulisic hasn't trained with the team the entire time, I would say, guys, hard tackles on Pulisic right from the jump.
And I guarantee you that will be the conversation in their locker room as soon as, whatever it is, an hour before the game, your coach comes into the locker room. You know what he does? He starts writing the names on the board. And then they go goalkeeper, backline, midfield. As soon as they see that left wing position, if it's Pulisic or a different name, the mentality changes. Pulisic's on that board, it's go time. We are going to be extra physical, and we have extra eye on him. If it's not him, they're still going to be physical, but I think there's a different mindset shift.
Putting him in harm's way.
That's fine. And then I'll stop talking about this. The other thing that happens is this. If his name's not on that board, Australia gets two surges. One is, their best player's not out there, and the other is they're disrespecting us.
Yeah, a little
they
bit.
think they think they don't need him today, whether that's accurate or not.
Sure.
I just, the literal bulletin board material.
They could have the mental exercise to be like, that's what they're doing.
And Team USA, I think subconsciously, everyone on the team, this does not feel like a must-win if we're saying this guy was fit, he's questionable. We're going to wait a few extra days. I just think it would be a big mistake to not let him start and see if he can go.
3 hours and 9 minutes until USA-Australia kicks off on Fox.
I think he's going to play, for the record.
I do not.
You think he's going to start?
I think he's going to play.
I think he could play. I think it's going to be like Jamal. If we need him, let's bring him in.
I think that's riskier than start. We're worried about the guy's injury, and it's like, all right, don't take it off. And it's like, oh wait, come save us. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Fans lining up for Seattle to watch USA-Australia again, 3 o'clock on Fox.
I also wish this game was here instead of Seattle. Further flight for the Australians. Seattle's a little close.
True.